Hey, and we're live. Just trying to set everything up still. How is everyone? Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay? There's a bit of a delay, I think, between messages coming through and stuff like that. But how is everyone? Oh, so the audio is good. Thank you very much for that. So I know it's all working fine. So how is everyone? How's everyone been getting on? Does everyone think of the hi Mark, hi Burgess, how's everyone going? Yeah, how's everyone coming along with the Ironman build? Yeah. I think it's really good, but it's had a bit of criticism, I think, this last couple of days because of the amount of parts that we get in each issue. I knew it was going to be low before I started it, but I see some people have commented on the amount of parts that we get each issue. So it is what it is. I think it is what it is. What else? Oh yeah, I've got the Dodge Charger as well. That's going up on the site. I'm going to do an issue every Monday on the Dodge Charger. So the first one will be going up tomorrow. But yeah, it's just basically doing the opposite side. So we're doing the right side suspension, brakes, and just putting in another cross member. It's little things really, but it bulks it out a little bit, which is nice. So that's coming on tomorrow. I think that's issue. Let me think now. Issue 7 days. I don't know what else is due out. Did I see the Agora newsletter yesterday? No. Well, I am signed up for their newsletters, but I don't think I got an Agora one yesterday. The only thing I've seen on Agora is oh, hi Tony. Is the only thing I've seen from Agora is the one from Mike Lane, the one where they talk about mods. I saw that today, but that's the only thing I've had from Agora. Why have they mentioned something? I've not seen that email. Yes, had the Iron Man done parts in parts 1, 2, and 3. So you've done parts 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah. Like I think what Wayne said and other people said. Issue 1 was the hat. They kept the helmet of Iron Man, and yeah, it was quite a bulky bit. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with everything else. Give us 1 minute. I'll just grab it. Show you all. Oh, I'm back. So yes, I should have really grabbed it. So that's the that's my rock out bit, but that's what we've got. Okay, you're not building it for others. They are teasing the next build. There is a vehicle that function for flight. But it's a disco lights. The lights are fire. I have to have a look at that. I've not seen that. I might have had an email about that. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment with the Iron Man. Yeah, I'm quite impressed. I'll have to have a look for that that Agora email because I am signed up to their newsletters. So yeah, I'll have to have a look for that. But yeah, so that's where it is. Next 4 issues are creating the forearm and obviously the shoulder, and then I think it's from issue issue 15. That's it. Issue 15 to 28 is creating another arm. So we'll be creating another one of them. So all the issues will near enough be the same. Though I do think in some of the issues we get like 2 fingers. So 2 of these in one issue. Like I said, they're really patterning it out a bit. But I'm really impressed with it. I know some people weren't because of that section. But it's like that, so you can get the movement that you need. So you can do the pulse thing and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm liking it. Oh, yeah. And that's his shoulder joint that just gets pushed on there. But yeah, I'm impressed with that. I think it's a fire truck. Looking forward. I'll forward it to you. Okay, yeah, forward that to me. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, just message the Nexus and then forward it to me because I'd like to have a look at that. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, obviously, and I'm doing the Dodge Charger. I filmed all of the issues, but I'll be releasing an issue every Monday. Try and pace myself out a bit because you know, I'm always rushing to try and build all of it together and put it out and everything else. And I want to just streamline my channel a little bit. So I'm going to be releasing an issue daily when I get them again, basically, when I start getting them again. The Dodge Charger I'll start on. And obviously every Wednesday we get the I'll get the Terminator. So that'll be every Wednesday still. And then once I get the Iron Man again and the Enterprise and the Ecto 1, they'll be on consecutive days sort of thing. Instead of trying to push out 2 or 3 videos a day or doing them in a pack form, I'm just going to do one a day, hopefully. That way you'll get one a day. That'll be 4 weeks, and then hopefully when I do the last ones, the new ones will then come along the following week. That's my plan. Also has a short clip of the Leopard. Yeah, not really too interested in the tank. Maybe if it was more World War II-ish, I might have been like a Panzer or something like that. But it's not. It's more of a modern day one. I think it's Russian, actually. But yeah, looks good. But I won't be building it. I've got to find a space to put it first as well, and there isn't much space left. That's why I like the figures, because I've got space that way, just not that way. So I can put a lot of figures up. So, but I think my next long thing, if you want to call it that, would probably be the Hogwarts Express when that comes out, because my wife's had interest in that, so we'll be building that. And we already know where it would go from the test run. We already know where it's going to be placed, so I've got room. But yeah, I'll be doing the Alien build when that comes out. That's a figurine, so that can sit near the Terminator. That would look cool, actually, right next to the Terminator. But how's everyone else been getting on with the build? How's everyone finding the Enterprise build? Because obviously Eaglemoss showcased what was it, Builders Report or something like that, I think it was called, over on Hero Collectors, and they showed up to stage 30, and it looks really impressive. Like I said, a lot of people have said that it reminds them of the Millennium Falcon build with the inner metal structure. So I've seen it, and some people have started now to think there's a lot of wires there. How does everything get put together? Like the saucer section get put on. We still don't know. It also looks like, so our navigation lights came up. I think it was in the last stream that we did, or it was on the Facebook group. But someone said about the navigation lights flashing. It doesn't look like they're going to flash. not getting mine yet. Not here in the US. Yeah, I think they're having lots of problems with post in general. But I did see. Now I collect 1/6 scale figures as well, and someone posted an article from Los Angeles saying that they've been having problems at the ports, like a massive backlog, and it was affecting Sideshow Collectibles and things like that. So I'm wondering if that's also affecting stuff for Eaglemoss as well, because just like here with the Brexit thing, we've had problems with the ports getting stuff in, but actually US are also facing the similar problems. I don't know whether it's because of the pandemic or whatever, but yeah, I know they've been having problems because I saw the article. It was from the Los Angeles Times, and it was saying that the ports were couldn't cope, and there were problems with getting custom stuff through. So I'm wondering whether the Enterprise is having problems there as well. The Eleanor and the Ecto. Oh, so you're building the Ecto. So you're obviously, if you've on my Patreon, you've already seen it. I've actually posted it, I think, as well. I think I released it yesterday. Last issue of the last stage of issue 14, which was 49 and 50. So I've done them, but now there's going to be like a 3-month hiatus for me on the Ecto. That is because I was collecting them from the web shop, which I'm still holding out that they're going to do it. Now, I was told by a few sources within Eaglemoss themselves that said that they were not doing them anymore. At the end of April, they were going to be withdrawn from the web shop. So I'm waiting until then to see exactly what happens, because we've had misinformation before from them. So I'm not entirely sure, because they're still on there. They're still on there that you can still buy them from their web shop, and I get adverts on my Facebook all the time about buying the Ecto 1 builds from their web shop. So I would imagine, I don't know why they're still advertising that, but yeah. So they're taking them off the end of April, and then I've got to subscribe, and then I'll be sent issues 1 and 2. And then I can return them. And once I've got issues 1 and 2, I can then ring them up and then start from issue 15, which is where I need to start from. So that will happen the end of April, May. And then I won't get issue 15 until like June time. So I will be months behind. But I don't care. I don't mind. I'm building the building Terminator, the DeLorean, the X-Wing, the Ecto, and Spitfire. Yeah, so I'm building. What am I building? I'm building the Dodge Charger, the Iron Man, the Enterprise, the Terminator, and Ecto. So that's 5. That's all I'm building at the moment. Like I said, the only thing that caught my eye is obviously the Hogwarts Express, the Alien, and the Robocop. But apart from the Hogwarts Express, I don't see the other 2 coming out this year. Maybe even next year for them, but maybe even next year for the Hogwarts Express. But the Dodge Charger is probably going to be my last vehicle that I build, just because I haven't got the room. I mentioned it on my last build, actually, on my last live stream, that I was going through sort of iconic vehicles and stuff like that, and there's none really that interests me enough. I know a lot of people are going to be waiting for Kit, and I think that's coming out through Fan Home. But yeah, in terms of cars, they've done the Peugeot. Maybe if they done like, I don't know, like a Sierra Cosworth or something like that, I might. That would be nice to have, I think. But I don't see that happening. But at the moment, I just have a few stages of the 911. I'll be getting more in 2 weeks. How's the 911 coming? It looks good. But yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm don't get me wrong, I'm a big car nut and I like my cars and things like that, but it has to be something I think a bit special. I'm building the Dodge Charger because my wife absolutely loves the Fast and Furious. We love the Fast and Furious series, and that's like Dom's car, so it's like the iconic car from it. We've done the DeLorean, which is once again iconic car, but the Batmobile. Um, saying that, I think if they released the Tumbler from Batman Returns or Batman Begins, I can't remember which one it was in. I think it was Returns, wasn't it? Or was it Begins? No, I think it was Begins, wasn't it? Batman Begins, where the Tumbler was in it. Now, if they brought that out, I'd build it. Yeah, I'd build that. The Hot Toys version is really, really nice. A 1/8 scale version would be smaller. So, but it looks awesome. It looks awesome. And I have come along nicely. Back wheels coming in next pack. Hello everyone. Hello. Hello, why me? That name. But yeah. I've not watched any Fast and Furious films since Paul Walker tragic death. She still can't face it. Yeah, it was a big blow, I think, that was to the films, and they really rightly should have ended it at that one. But they've carried it on. And they've got the spin-off as well with Hobbs and Shaw, haven't they? With Jason Statham and The Rock. Yeah. But I think they're doing another 2 movies. I think they've been another 2 movies. I know they're doing another Hobbs and Shaw movie as well. But yeah, I wouldn't get any other car from it, I don't think, now. The only other thing I think I would get that would be nice from the Fast and Furious would be the Eclipse, the lime green Eclipse that was in it. That was in the first. It was in the first movie, wasn't it? The Eclipse cast. Or was it the second one? I can't remember. But yeah, I think that would be a nice one to build. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do any more from the films. So that's why I'm getting that. But there are lots and lots and lots of vehicle builds out there. If you look, there is lots. Has anyone seen the Ferrari Transporter? I did post it and the link to the website for our Patreon members. But yeah, it looks really good. It's coming out. Or I should say, it's come out. It's already come out. It's come out in Italy. If they do bring it out here in the UK, it'll be under Panini, who bring that out, who's doing the F40 at the moment. Because it's the same company that does the F40. So, yeah, Skyline, Evo, yeah. I think if they did some of them, I might be tempted. But it's what a cruiser. Yeah, if they'd done a cruiser, I think we'd get one. We'd do that build. Yeah, the Chrysler Cruiser. Have you PT Cruiser? We had a PT Cruiser, and it was really nice. We loved it. It was part of it's one of those niche cars. It looks like a hot rod. And I remember when we got it, and no one else around had one, and we would go away and we would pass other cruisers and they would wave at us. It was one of those little niche things where everyone else would see us and we would wave back. What's that? Oh, it's come up. Oh, I just have to put in this code that I've been sent. You'll have to wait. Sorry. I don't know where it's gone. That's okay. The PT Cruiser was interesting. Yeah, it was. right? We loved it. We loved that car, right? But the turning circle on it was awful, like so bad. Like there was no way you could turn around a sharp corner in it. It was really bad. Um, Not even Chrysler themselves. So we had parts wrong with it, and even Chrysler. So we had a Chrysler dealership here, and they wouldn't even touch it. So does that ring alarm bells? I think it does. But we got stuff fixed on it, and we really, really, really liked it. So we were, but yeah, we did like the PT Cruiser. And my wife keeps going on about getting another one because they do them in really interesting colours as well. And you can get them all chromed out, and they look really nice. They're the sort of cars that you see at the cruise meetings and stuff like that, and that's why we got one. But yeah, we did have a PT Cruiser, but I know that they're not the best cars, and they've got a really bad rep, but they look cool. And if you have one, you're one of those it's one of those niche cars that when you see other people, a bit like Scoobies, Subarus and Mitsubishi Evos. If you go around things, or there's the GTO as well, the Mitsubishi GTO. There were another one of those sort of niche cars that when you have no one else normally has one. If you pass another driver that's got one, you sort of wave at them. It's one of those really things. And the Cruiser was one of them. But my wife said if they ever done a PT Cruiser build, she would do it. But I don't think they will. But yeah, I was looking at other things as well. Maybe they haven't done a decent sized truck, if you know what I mean. Just the tender set, not the trailer, but the actual traction on the front. That's what I'd really like a big American 1/8 scale truck, like Optimus Prime, that sort of thing. I would build Optimus Prime if they did him in truck form and he was 1/8 scale, big enough. I think that would look really cool. So I'd be interested in that. But yeah, because that would look nice actually, because I've got a big Optimus Prime statue robot form. And having the truck next to him would look really, really cool, I think. But it's the one, which one do you go for? Do you go for his original cartoon one, or do you go for the ones in the movie? Because there was 2 different designs in that one. But yeah, I know they're doing the Camaro, the yellow Camaro that Bumblebee was in the first movie, when Sam Witwicky finds him, and he's that I think it's an S28 Camaro. Now they are doing that. I have seen that being tested in I think it was Germany. I think it was, but it had nothing to do with Transformers. But it is what Bumblebee's form was in the first movie. Maybe interested. So where do I put it though? It's finding where do I put them. It's all the space, you see. The Ferrari truck is on my would if I could list. Yeah, it has internal lighting. I've seen the first issue, and you build some of the front section of the truck itself. But yeah, I think that you build the truck, you build the engine, and then the interior you get 2 F1 cars, which are then decked up, and then you've got all the tools that go with them, and it all lights up inside, and it looks really good. But I don't know how long away that would be from being released over here. But yeah, Johnny Five's a must. There's a few things that I would build if they brought them out, and that is one of them. Johnny Five, obviously RoboCop, Ed 209. But yeah, I'd also like a Dalek, a 1/2 scale Dalek, the 2005 version, bronze, sort of able to move around a bit like the R2 that we've built, or is being built again. So you can control it from an app, and you can move around. I think that would be really, really cool. It's something that that's never been mentioned, but I know would sell instantly if they did it. It's a bit like the Enterprise build. I can't believe it's taken this long to get it, because I knew it was going to be an instant success, which it has been because of how successful the Star Trek stuff has been with Eaglemoss. So it was like a no-brainer, but I can't believe it's taken this long. But it's the same with the with Doctor Who as well. I think if they did a 1/2 scale Dalek build, I think that would be like where it could move inside. So you build it a bit like the R2 with all the circuitry in, and then the head turns, the light stalk open, operates, and you can see out of it, and it talks, and it had the everything. You know what I mean? Your mind starts going, oh yeah, that would be cool. Just imagine it. It'd be sort of the same height as the Terminator, but a Dalek. But then it's that sort of thing. Which one do you go for? I would prefer the bronze 2005 or the black one, the Cult of Skaro, one of them. But I know a lot of people would probably prefer some of the older versions. But I think that if they did a 2005 bronze version, I think they wouldn't have any trouble with building that at all, making that as a part work. I don't think they would have any issues with that. But yeah, Johnny 5 definitely. But it's the scale. So if they went for a 1/2 scale, that would be good. If they did Iron Man size, not too sure. I think that would be a bit small, but I'd still do it. Of course I would. We'd have to do Johnny 5. That's for sure. I'm trying to think of any other builds really that I would do. Sort of like a figurine or something like that. A Hulkbuster. That was mentioned actually. A lot of people were talking about the Iron Man, and yeah, I'd love a Hulkbuster in this sort of scale, because it would be really big. Even a War Machine would be really good. How about a War Machine? That would be really good. DS9 would be good build. Once again, that's a big. I mean, if they did it the Enterprise sort of scale to 2 foot, I mean, it would swamp the Enterprise. So it'd have to be quite small. So the Jurassic Park Explorer. Yeah, a lot of people were mentioning that about Agora actually. So not the Jeep. We're not talking about the Jeep here. We're talking about the Explorer, the ones that they get in, and the T-Rex destroys with the kids in. That's the Jurassic Park Explorer. To be fair, that is just a Ford Explorer, I do believe, with just a different paint app and some extra bits in it. I could see modders going mad for that. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be on the fence with that one. I don't know if I'm a massive Jurassic Park fan, love it, but I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know. It'd be something that I'd have to have a see and look and see where I am with that, because obviously the Terminator's finishing in June, July time. I think it finishes. And then I'm hoping the Hogwarts Express or something comes out that I could then that could take its place, sort of thing. But yeah, it might be the Hogwarts Express. But I got a funny feeling it may be the Eddie Stobart. That's what I think is going to come out next, and I think the Hogwarts Express is going to come out nearer to Christmas. Herbie, yeah. Well, they already do a Beetle, I do believe. One of the companies in Germany, I think, does a VW Beetle already. Because I think World of Mike mentioned it. All they would have to do is just paint that white, wouldn't they? And then put the racing stickers on it. But I think there's already a company doing that. I also know that at one point there was talk of them bringing out, I don't know who it was, whether it was D'Agostini or Hachette, but there was the Mini, the classic 1960s Mini build, and obviously the Morris Minor as well. Both easy passes for me, but I remember seeing them as builds coming out. Doc Brown's train at the end of Back to the Future 3. Loads of people have mentioned that. Lots of people have mentioned that. That would be a cool. I think that would be cool next to the DeLorean. I think that would be really cool, wouldn't it? And able to move it so it could fly, like move the train wheels down. Model Space has a red convertible Beetle. Oh right, okay. I wasn't too sure whether I knew they did a Beetle, but I wasn't too sure it was a convertible. But yeah, I don't. That's the sort of thing that Agora would do, wouldn't it? That pick it up and do something a little bit different with it, maybe. But yeah, you said about the they're doing a new build, a fire truck, is it? There's a lot of vehicles that come out in Russia. Funnily enough, they do fire. I think they've done a fire engine. They've done a few buses, and they've done lots of their like cars that they drive over there. A lot of the Soviet cars and stuff like that. Model Space are too expensive now, as you can only get a 12 monthly subscription. I have a funny feeling that a lot of builds are going that way. Even the Enterprise build had that option, and I think it's easier for the companies to do that sort of thing. I know Agora do that, and I know I'm not too sure which one it was, but I know they only do that option or something like that, where they only do a 12-month subscription offer. You can pay monthly, but it's like a bigger amount each month, and you get more in it, but it's only for 12 months, if you know what I mean. Instead of 2 years, it's a year. I think it's the Terminator, isn't it? I think it's the Terminator build. Eaglemoss has a UAZ in Russia. I love that. Yeah, there's, like I said, like Russia has got a lot of part works, and like I said, they've done loads of things, fire engines, quite a few buses, and lots of cars, lots of their Soviet cars. But yeah, they're very big out there. But they've also, funnily enough, they've been actually getting their Eleanor before anybody else. I think everyone's waiting for pack 2. I think they're on pack 3 or 4 now. I think they're on 4. I think they're waiting for pack 4. They're that far ahead over there. Don't know why. It has to be with the with what it is and that. My 911 is a 12-month sub. Yeah, but do you pay monthly for that? And then is that only for a month and you pay monthly? So does it work out more a month? I think that's what a lot of these part works may be going towards, you know, that doing them within a year, you pay more each month and you get your build within a year instead. But it's a big upfront pay, if you know what I mean. I think. And I also don't like rushing these as well. That's why I chose the normal subscription for the Enterprise instead of going for the monthly ones, having an extra issue ahead. That didn't bother me. It wasn't enough to sort of tell me to do that, if you know what I mean. But I like paying the monthly subscription. I don't mind if it takes 2 years or what. I just like my money comes out each month. I know where I am and get my parts, and that's it. I would prefer to get them in the newsagents. That's what I would really prefer. But they've all moved out of there. It was one of my pet peeves, really, that I would never do subscription. I had absolute nightmare with Eaglemoss originally, and it put me straight off. I said I would never do it, but it's just the way it all works now. So yeah, monthly, around 2 Eaglemoss packs per 1 Model Space pack. Hi Peter. All right, buddy. But yeah, I think most people now, I think going forward, I think for the next couple of weeks we're going to be looking at I'm going to be looking at the Alien build, Issue 3 comes out in France this week, so I'll have some more pictures and stuff like that. We learned how big it is. So it's 1 meter 20. That's how tall it's going to be if it's fully stood up, which I think actually puts it in the same height as our Terminator. So, and then I think in June, July, that's when the when RoboCop comes out, and I think that's gonna be the one to watch. I think so. I'm gonna have a lot of information on that as well. Obviously, I'll pass all this information on. Goes to my Patreon people first. So, but yeah, I do get a lot of that information. But yeah, I think issue 3 comes out this week in France, so I should have some information in that. If you haven't seen the information on the Alien build, I was wondering whether like the articulation of it. So I want to just debunk a lot of stuff on it. So the hands, the fingers on it don't move. The fingers are sort of like that on it, but they don't move. You don't move that, but you can move the wrist on it, and the head moves with it's like a voice activation. So the head turns to where there's noise. So if you make noise over here, the head turns, and if you make not, the head turns. So that's really cool. The tail is not articulated, so you can't really move the tail. I think you can, but that's what I've been told, is that the tail isn't articulated. The dome obviously lights up, which you can then see the skull underneath. Now, a lot of people have been saying that isn't screen accurate, but the aliens were different. So this is based on the first alien that we see in the first Aliens movie, which has a slightly white see-through dome, but because in the film there was a lot of dark light in it, it looks black. But if you go and have a look at a lot of the set photos for the first Aliens movie, you will see that it's actually right. It does have sort of like a whitey clear sort of chrome. But Aliens 2 aliens, they're slightly different. So they have like more of a ridged look. They're warrior ones, and there is sort of differences between them both. The head is more sort of elongated at the back and stuff like that. But yeah, but its mouth opens as well, so you can operate it so its mouth opens and the little mouth comes out of it, shoots out. That'd be really cool. And the base comes with it as well. So that's what I found out this week. I think I'll get the Gora Bismarck when I have steady income. Yeah, like the Bismarck was never sort of the same with the Spitfire. You know, I like World War II. Well, I like World War II documentaries and stuff like that, and I followed it. I know about the Bismarck, and it was just, it was built like a bit like the Titanic. It was supposed to be unsinkable, like a destroyer machine, but the British blew it up because it took a wrong tour. So it went up above Scotland and it came down through the English Channel, and obviously the English blew it out of the water. But it's worth noting that in the process, the British also blew up one of their own ships, friendly fire and all. But yeah, but it was not enough to get me going. Same with the Spitfire as well, and the Zero. May do the RoboCop build. I'm definitely doing the RoboCop build. Who isn't doing the RoboCop build? That is going to be so cool. But yeah, it's a weird scale. So it's not 1:2 scale, and it's not 1:3 scale. It's slightly bigger than Iron Man, but slightly smaller than the Terminator. So it's a weird scale. It's in between somewhere. Agora subs are around 2 model space subscription and 4 Eagles subs. Yeah, like I said, I think Agora do a 12-month subscription. You pay monthly, but you pay more and you only get it in 12 months. I think that's how it works. Will the RoboCop be from Hachette or Fanhome? It will be from Fanhome. The Alien is from Hachette, and RoboCop is from Fanhome. Well, over in France, when it comes out, it'll be through D'Agostini. When it comes out over here, it will be through Fanhome. And Fanhome don't do test runs, so we could actually see it sooner than later. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I was told. So that's what I'm hoping. But when it came out, like when they did the test run in France, it blew everything else out of the water. It was the most popular build that they've ever tested. So it's going to be a big one for them, I think. The Bismarck will be a centerpiece project when I get a new place, right in the middle of the room. I had that originally in my old house for my Millennium Falcon. I had it on a big IKEA glass table in the middle, and you could see through it, and it lit up. It was really nice. And then we moved to, because where I was living before, it was a 2-bedroom place, but it was bigger. And we moved to a 3-bedroom house, which was slightly smaller. And we had 3 dogs at the time, and there just wasn't room for it. So I stored it at my brother's. So cool. I will be getting it. Yep. So yeah. So I don't think, in terms of new builds, I don't think there's any new builds coming out for Eaglemoss UK at the moment. I don't think until the Brexit thing and Rona has sorted itself out, I don't think we're going to get any new builds from Eaglemoss in the UK. I know the Enterprise was coming out, and I know that was like 6 or 7 months behind before it should have come out. So it should have come out in 2020, or was it 2019? I think it was actually the end of 2019 it was supposed to come out, but didn't. And then it was supposed to come out in 2020, but didn't. Then it came out in 2021. But I know the next build they were going to bring out was the Willys Jeep, and that has now been. I got the information from Eaglemoss. They said that they weren't going to be bringing out any builds again this year. They were going to concentrate on the ones that they've already got, and then they were going to see how things go and bring it out. And then, literally about 2 days after I announced that, they sent an email out saying that they were going to be bringing out the Willys Jeep. They know they want to, but it's going to be 2022 now, sometime next year. So I don't see anything from Eaglemoss. It may all change because, things are going away now, and with the borders and stuff like that, might get a little bit easier to get stuff in. So I think that anything could change. Anything could change. I would get a table around the Bismarck, build a table around it. Yeah, I think that Agora are bringing out a wooden box to put it in, aren't they? A huge wooden box to put it in. And I think that's going to be another thing that they're going to do. They're going to be doing more cases. So you can get your acrylic case, and then you're going to get like this wooden one as well. I think they're going to do that for all of their builds, offer it anyway. But yeah, I see that. I don't know how expensive it is. I don't even think it's got a price yet. I just know that they were looking at that, but I don't see it being cheap somehow. It's going to be quite expensive, I think, to get the bespoke one anyway. I think that's going to be one of those ones that's going to cost a bit. But you put your models where you want, and you do what you want with them. So, but yeah, I'm just waiting. I see a lot of people, like I said at the very start, about worrying about the Enterprise, and after they released stuff that said what was coming up in stages up to stage 30, and there's actually quite a lot built by then as well. But I think stage 30 is around, I think it's around issue 15, am I correct? 15, 16, around that sort of area. So it's a while away. Yeah, it's a while away, but it looks like there's a lot of panels and a lot of windows. I mean, that's just the top section as well. Then you've got the bottom section of the saucer, and then you've got all the star drive sections as well. I've got enough DIY skills to build something decent. Yeah. I would prefer, build your own. I think then you get a really nice case. Though the ones that they do are really nice, but I think if you could build your own one, that would be really good. Really, really good. I don't think I've got the skills to do that. Wish I did, because I'm a builder, but But yeah, I don't have the skills for that. But yeah, so Robocop comes out in I think it's June, July time. It comes out over in France, and I'll be keeping everyone posted on that. There's a Facebook group set up. I've set up a Facebook group for that and the Alien build as well. All the information goes into there. As soon as I get the information, I'll normally post it onto my Patreon page first, and then a few hours later, I'll then post it onto the groups. But yeah, I think Fanhome are going to be doing the Millennium Falcon as well, because I know they've just started pushing out the R2D2. I see some people have already got issue or pack 1 of the R2D2. It brings back memories, seeing all them again, seeing the leg and stuff like that. I remember building all that years ago now. I think that's a couple of years old now. Cool. It's going back, I think, about 2 years now. I think I built that with D'Agostini, and it still works. It still works, though I don't use it very often. It does still work, which is really good. But I don't really know what else is due to come out. Like I said, I think because Hachette and D'Agostini used to do different builds in different countries, and I think Fanhome don't do any of that sort of stuff. But I think Hachette still do. So we got the test run for the Eddie Stobart truck and the Hogwarts Express, but nowhere else in the world did. And in France, they had the Alien build test run as well, and I think they had the Power Ranger, and then Megazord from Power Rangers was also by Hachette as well, and we didn't get that test run here neither. So I think there's differences. So I think more or less we'll probably get the Hogwarts Express and the Eddie Stobart truck. That's what I think we'll probably get before the Alien build hasn't even been test run here, and they do test runs still, Hachette, and I know that because they just done a test run for Warhammer Imperium, which is their new Warhammer one going forward, and they did a test run, which I still think is going on at the moment. Actually, I think they're on issue 4 now, so I know they'd still do a test run. They haven't done a test run on the Alien build yet, so I know that won't be coming out here yet until they've done that test run. So you're gonna put the Ferrari truck issue on Patreon? What, issue 1? Because I've seen I haven't got it, but I have seen pictures of issue 1. If you want me to, I can post it on there. I can do that. That's no trouble. Any decent fire trucks will tempt me. Like I said, I think there has been a fire truck, but I think it's like a really old style fire truck from like the 1950s. I have seen many moons ago, but I know they have done them. So I know they have done them at some point. But yeah, it's one of those weird things. I think vehicles and stuff like that, it's weird because Eddie Stobart is here in the UK, and there is some people out of the UK that know of them, but not really, if you know what I mean. So that's really sort of a British thing. So it's a bit like doing like the Route Master, perfect example. That hasn't come out anywhere else in the world. I think it's not come out anywhere in the world. I'm just trying to think. But it's mainly the UK market for that, and I think they would struggle to sell that elsewhere. They may do, they may not, but they haven't released it anywhere else. But yeah, like I think like they're going to bring out the Hogwarts Express. I think will then be pushed out worldwide, I think, at some point, and that'll be the same for well, no, it won't be the same for the Eddie Stobart because I don't think there's enough market for that elsewhere. I'm surprised actually that the Route Master hasn't been picked up by Agora. It's something that I think would do, because I know that I built it, but I know Wayne was sort of he was sort of sad that he never did. He never bought that one, but I did build it, and it's a really good build. The electrics on it are really bad though. That really, really bad. The worst I've seen, actually. But apart from that, it's a really good build, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that no one else has picked that up, because I think it's quite an iconic vehicle. Who's doing the Eddie Stobart truck? Hachette are doing the Eddie Stobart truck along with the Hogwarts Express. They were both test runned, but they were late test runned, if you know what I mean. Once again, because of Rona, they got all pushed back. So I think the Hogwarts Express one and the Eddie Stobart came out on the test run about the same time, and then they both disappeared at the same time, and they haven't really said anything more about it. But they had a bigger interest, I think, on the Hogwarts Express, so I think that is one of the ones that they definitely will do. The Eddie Stobart one, I'm not too sure. I know they had interest for it, but I don't think it was as much as the Hogwarts Express. I do think they're going to bring both of them out. The electrics on the Route Master definitely an afterthought. The Route Master electrics were, like I said, the worst electrics I've had. That is including the DeLorean, okay, because they were bad as well. But the electrics in the Route Master were awful. I mean, I've seen it all lit up, and with the sounds and everything working, it looks really good, really good. But the electrics were absolutely piss poor. I'm gonna say they were really bad. There was a major problem, I think, with the battery box and the switch, where they weren't soldered properly. I mean, I don't think even mine had any solder on; it just came apart. And then you had the sideboard lights, so the lights for the destination board on the side and the back were left dangling for a long time. And then when it was come to fit it, the wires would come off because they hadn't been soldered properly. And that was what the bus suffered from, I think, bad soldering, where it was just some parts didn't have any solder on, and when it was soldered in the wrong place. It was just awful, and wires would snap everywhere. So I gave up on the electrics on the Route Master from about issue 60. I just gave straight up because it was 130 issues. And I know that they missed out a light as well. So it has two little fog lights on either side, one on the cab, and then one on the indent on the top of the engine section. And that one didn't have a light, and the cab one did. And also, I think it suffers from a lot of the switches are in the cab, obviously, and there's a driver in the cab. And trying to push the buttons past the cab is also, once again, problematic. You'd have to take the driver out or not put him in at all. But even then, I think it's such a tight gap to get your finger in to sort of push the buttons. I think that caused a lot of problems as well. But overall, I think it was excellent. I do these sort of builds. Even the DeLorean, despite its flaws and despite its problems, it's still a really good build after it's built and stuff like that. We've had the same problems with the Terminator as well, where some parts are good, some parts aren't, some parts fit together well. It's just I'm waiting now for, I think it's issue 106 or 107. I think it's 106, I think it is, where we get these circuit boards for the back of the head, and I can test the lights out and test how it works, because I haven't tested the lights or anything on that since the skull was fitted originally. So it's going to be interesting to see if they all still work. I mean, years ago, there used to be a running gag, especially in the forums. Now, if you've ever gone onto any of the forums, you've got the Parkwork forum, and you've got the Agostini forums as well, Model Space forums. One of the running gags on there years and years ago was, how long does the electrics last? There was always a running gag. So how long do you reckon the electrics are going to last in that? And, R2-D2 is really well. And my Model Space Mustang as well, perfect, because there's not not a lot of electrics in that, so I think that simplifies it a little bit when there's not a lot. But when you start having wires and things being plugged in and out and everything like that, like with the Enterprise one, I worry because we're testing the lights every time. So every time we're pulling, and that's putting strain on the wire, and it always stresses me out a little bit. Like, you know, is that going to affect it later on, and me yanking and pulling on it? You know, and that does sort of like play on my mind a little bit in terms of that. But the Enterprise is definitely one. That and the Ecto are definitely ones where I want the electrics to work and work perfectly. Fingers crossed they do that. The Terminator I think would look good, but it's only the lights and the mouth that move, so there's not a lot of electrics in it apart from the base and stuff. I think if I can get the base to work really well, I don't think I'll do too much to the head, but it will have a little remote which will make it easier to come on and off. You know, I don't think with the DeLorean, I've only ever had the lights on there a few times as well. On Millennium Falcon as well, though a lot of the lights on my Millennium Falcon now don't work. Don't know why. I haven't just had the time of just pulling it apart and trying to find out where the problems are. I've just left it. So I think all my landing lights work, but I think the interior lights, the one on the back wall doesn't work now, and one side of the LEDs on the engines now don't work on my Millennium Falcon. No, it's a fairly old build now. I think it's about 3 years old now. Is it? Could be older than that. Could be older than that. But yeah, the electrics, I think they've gotten better over the years with the electrics, but the Routemaster electrics were awful, just awful. I had an awful time with them. I would love it to be lit up, but it doesn't. It looks good anyway. I mean, it looks really good. I'm very impressed with my Routemaster. But yeah, I'm going to sort of wrap it up there because it's coming up for time now. It's coming up nearly 8 o'clock, and I think Top Gear's on. I'm going to watch that. Who's watching Top Gear? Because that's what I'm going to be watching in literally a couple of minutes. I'm going to come off here and I'm going to sit down and have a drink and watch Top Gear, chill out. So that's what I'm going to do in just a minute. Anyway, thank you for all coming on. Thank you for all commenting. I love people when they comment and stuff like that. Burgess, could you please email me that Agora message? I haven't got it. If you can email me that or send it over through Messenger, that'd be brilliant. But I haven't had that email, which is a shame. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for commenting and everything else. I love all of it. And thank you for all coming on. Have a nice Easter. That's it as well. And eat lots of chocolate, because I know I already did. Oh, you've already done the oh, brilliant. Thank you for that. But yeah, I know I've eaten a load of chocolate already, and who cares? Eh? It's Easter, so go enjoy yourself. Thank you for staying on and commenting and everything else. But I'm going to leave it right there. But anyway, thank you for everything. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Just in general, I know I keep repeating myself, but it is what it is. Thank you, and we'll see you